Well, hello. It's Monday night, and I know I look a little different than normally. Still at the church. It's I don't know exactly what time it is. I'm trying to look and think my watch has gone dead too. It's probably about 8:30 though, I guess. Yeah, 8:20, something like that. We've been here all day. I got some exciting things. Uh, I I'm gonna challenge you. If you come into a few dollars extra and you want to help out, I told you I had something pretty exciting. Well, today we spent most of the day, several of us in here working, and we tore out that temporary platform that we had. We tore out a lot of other things. We're building a beautiful. I'm gonna be giving you a picture. I started to do it today, but I'm not gonna be able to do it, I don't think. But it's going to be beautiful. Our platform is going to be extended. We're going to have wraparound stairs that'll go all the way around to where our pianos are, all the way around. Make a wonderful altar, and just to be a much larger platform. A lot of things that we can do. It's going to be beautiful. It really is, and so just to build the platform, not to floor it, but just to build it. Brother Rogers is estimated to be about $650. And I told him, this is about a good time as any. We're not doing great on money right now, but at the same time, since nobody's in here much, we can get in here, and we were able to work all day and tear it all out and not be pressured. Tomorrow night, Wednesday night service may look a little different, but it'll be fine. But if, Lord blesses and you're able to help a little bit, of course, now the flooring is going to cost us a little bit. I don't know exactly. We're probably going to try to put down a wood flooring back up there to cover the entire new platform. And so if that's something, just feel like you want to jump in on and want to help us with to do, I think it's really exciting. Joe Beth and Grant and different ones planted some new flowers and things today. Got that out today and did that, and then she's, matter of fact, right now she's still over decorating the puppet stage for the video that we'll be doing tomorrow, and the kind of theme we're going into for the children's church video, and so we're just working nonstop. Went out to Hannah's birthday drive-through birthday. That was neat. That was a lot of fun, and I think blessed to her and just enjoyable. But now we're looking at this Sunday. Still doing what we're doing. I would encourage you. The weather's getting better and better, and so I'd love for you to come out, be part of our drive-in service, and be in the parking lot. That would be great. If you'd like to come in, then we're still trying to be careful about the number that we have in, and love for you to have a mask on and that type of thing, and wash your hands. We've got the sanitizing stuff, right here on the wall, and all that kind of thing. So you can come on in. Now, I'm really thinking, probably by the first weekend in May, we're going to loosen up some things, and we got people need to be getting back to church, and I may even try, if depending on how things go, I may try to, and the weather's real good, may try to set up a PA system out in the parking lot, and everybody just come drive in and roll the windows down. But otherwise, we may even come on into church and just spread out, mask on, 6 feet apart, and do all that. I think we're getting to that point where I really believe that we're okay to do that, and I think it's important. We've been a long time away from church, and it's for some I know it's been hard, and I think it's time to get back together, and so that's coming real close now, and so pray for wisdom, pray that God will guide us in the right direction, pray for our nation, pray for our leadership. We need great decisions and wisdom right now through our leadership, and there's a lot of confusion in the nation, and but we need God's hand. We need God's hand to be there and to take care of us and protect us, And so I'm going to tonight, it's kind of a unique verse, but I just felt like it's one that we can deal with. And I don't know, it's not like it's pointed toward anybody necessarily, but I think it's a good verse to really fully understand, because we all go through seasons where we need it. And it's Psalm 51:10. A very familiar verse, but it's David speaking, and says, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." Now, this is to me is very, very important that we understand this verse. Now, we understand David had sinned. David had committed adultery and murder, and there's no two worse sins. If we list sins, and grade them, so to speak, but but these are bad. They really are. David has committed a heinous crime of adultery, and then followed it up with murder. And but now he's been confronted, and he's now getting right with God. And hopefully, we'll never be in that extreme sin, but we have sinned. And so we have the same need at times in life where we got to come to God, and we have to ask Him to do that for us. But we really need to understand what it's really been saying. So, the way I do, I'm gonna define some words. Well, create is a unique word. Create it means to fashion, of course, to mold, but it also means, this is really unique, it means to cut down. Like you'd cut down a tree to get a block of wood to carve out a statue or something, to build or create something, or to cut the wood and use that wood to begin to build a chair or whatever. And so what you're doing is you're changing the state and the character of that tree and to something completely different. And now it's still the same, but yet vastly different. The state of it, the character of it is completely different. And so that's what create is. Create, he's saying, dear God, I've got a heart. And but God, I need you to come back in, and I need you to remold it. I need you to create in me, fashion in me a clean heart. But he's saying to God, though, that key is cut down. I believe he's saying, God, carve into my heart, carve the pride out of my heart, carve the arrogance out of my heart, carve the self-will out of my heart. God, cut out of my heart that which needs to come out, so that you can fashion in me something better, something different. And so then he says clean is that particular word is clean morally and ethically. Well, that's definitely appropriate for this sin of David. He has been immoral. He's been completely unethical. And so he said, clean me up. And this, as you carve it out, well, my ethics have been based on my own desire and my own choices and my own, so-called worldly wisdom, and honestly, it's been based on his pride. And he's the king. He's gotten to the point of thinking he can do whatever he wants to do. And you say, how do you know that? Well, that's what leads to this kind of sin, that kind of thought process. And so God, he's saying, create in me, cut away what you need to cut away in me, and clean me up, make a pure heart morally and ethically in me. In my heart. Now, the heart is the innermost being, the innermost mind of David. His understanding, the passions that he had, the seat of his emotions and his appetites, his moral character. He's saying, clean heart. He said to God, I need you to come in, and I know that I've been immoral. I know that I've been unethical. I know that I've been wicked. So God, come in here and cleanse those necessary things from me. And Lord, my emotions and my appetites and my desires and my will has taken over my heart. And God, I need you to clean that garbage out of my heart. I need to get back to submitting to your will. I need to have your heart and your mind. And so he says, in order to do that now, here's what got to happen. You got to rebuild, renew, rebuild, repair my heart. My heart's gotten out of whack. My heart, my thinking, my emotions, my desires, it's all gotten vastly out of whack, because you know what's happened? I've gotten in control of it. I've allowed it to take over my thinking and in my desires. And so he says, I need you to clean it. I need you to cut it out. I need you to renew it. I need you to clean me up and rebuild my heart again, dear God, because it's gotten bad. It's gotten to be a mess. And so he said, renew a right spirit in me. Right is, now this is the very special word. Renew is, right spirit is we think, well, it just be morally and ethically right, but what it is, it's an established, fixed, stable, secure, enduring spirit. And what David's saying is, I got myself into the mess because my spirit was unstable. I got myself into the mess because I somehow allowed my spirit, my desires to take over my spirit, to control it. He's saying, you know what? I need your control. You carve out, you remold, you remake so that I can stay right. You see, David, here's sometimes, and this sounds kind of bad, but sometimes the good thing that comes out of something really bad, even a really bad decision, even a sin, is the pain that you go through because of it. The conviction, the remorse, the inner pain that goes through because of it. I believe this pain, this suffering that David has gone through because of it, he's saying, dear God, help me, renew me, rebuild me with a spirit that's going to stay strong. I don't want to go through this again. I don't want to do this again. I don't want to fall like this again. I don't want to endure what I had to endure again and suffer again. God, establish me. Make me stable. And so the right spirit is, of course, his disposition, even his attitude. So within the seat of my thoughts and emotions, into my very guts, he says, I need you to, that's what he says, my spirit. It's the seat of my emotions. It really, by definition, it's even the very guts that I have. Just come on in, go into every little crack and crevice of my being. I've said this, you've heard me say before, that I sometimes, when there's something gotten into my mind, that I just say, God, it doesn't need to be there. Maybe it's an unintentional image, or maybe it's an image, forget me, but maybe it's something that was intentional, some thoughts I allowed to come in, some thoughts that I dwelled on too long, maybe some anger, some bitterness, something that's come in there. And it just taken hold, and it's there, and it just keeps reoccurring. Sometimes I'll stop and I'll say, dear God, please let your Holy Spirit dip his brush into the blood of Jesus and come through my mind, and every little crack and crevice of my mind, I want you to wash it. And so, I just do that because I really want it cleansed, because I can't stand. It's so painful to know that you're failing, to know that you've done wrong, to know that you're acting wrong. I just like, oh God, I don't want to go down that road again. I don't want to treat people that way again. I don't want to hurt people. I don't want to be that way. I don't want the remorse. I don't want the pain that comes with bad decisions. And so, Lord, renew me and establish my spirit. And so we see that David had sinned against God with his horrible sins, and he's pleading with God, not just for forgiveness, but be cleansed, washed, and made whiter than snow. He just wants to be cleansed away, but he wants to be cleansed in a way that he will stay right. And that's what he's asking God to do. He's saying, God, I don't want you just to kind of clean me up and say, okay, you're forgiven. He said, I want to be cleaned up and I want to stay right. I want you, man, I want you to cut away the garbage out of my heart. I want you to stop that thinking in my heart. I want you to stop that. I don't want those desires anymore. And so what it comes down to do what God is going to have to do, he's going to have to cut down the pride, the self-will of David in order to change or fashion a new David, to change his very character inside. To do that, David first must be forgiven and cleansed morally and ethically. To do that, God will have to reach down into the innermost recesses of David's thoughts and passions to cut away his own self-will and cleanse him from that, so that he can be renewed and rebuilt. It is in the depths of his own moral character. David said, I got a character I got a flaw in my moral character. And God, I need you to get in there and dig that thing out so that I can be right. And to help David have what he did not have, what David was wanting, he wanted an established, fixed, stable, enduring heart. And that's what I want. I pray that's what you want. It's just, God, I'm not saying I've never messed up. I have. And Lord, I know I have. And I know the pain that I've suffered because I have. And God, I don't want to go through that pain again. I don't want to have to do that again. So Lord, I'm praying, I'm asking, create in me a clean heart, oh God. Remold me, cut away everything that needs to be cut away, and remold me and make me a clean heart, oh God. And Father, in order to do that, I know you've got to renew a right spirit in me. Lord, I've got to have a spirit that says, I'm going to stay right, Lord. I'm not getting right so you'll cleanse me and I'll feel better. I'm getting right so I'll stay right. And so God needed to change David's whole way of thinking, for his thinking up to now had been unstable, driven by his appetites and emotions. And God said, I got to change that. You got a heart. You're a man after God's own heart. You were after my heart. But you also, in your pride, and it's so easy. It's so easy that the more successful we become, to become prideful and just sort of become arrogant in our thoughts and not even realize it. I said, I worked in a very large ministry for a long time, and when I got ready to leave that ministry, and I tried my best. I really did. I tried to live humbly before people. I tried to treat people right. But I'll be honest with you, I had to get away from there to realize the depth of pride that was in my heart, because I was part of a world large ministry. And, I was speaking to thousands. And you think, Lord, I don't think I'm anything. And you really don't. But at the same time, it's seeping into you. It's seeping into you the desire to be able to be chosen to speak to this group. It's seeping into you the desire to be asked to, I'm going to be part of this conference. You get away from it, you think, dear God, how selfish and arrogant and prideful I was. And you have to just say, Lord, cut that stuff out of me. I don't want to live that way any longer. I don't want to be that way any longer. I didn't even realize how much of it was there. So, Lord, cut it away and renew a right spirit, a spirit that'll last for you. Now, I don't know how this applies to you at all, I know that this is something that I've had to deal with in my own life. It's something that I've had to ask God for because I want that spirit that's going to continue, that's going to last, that's established for God and with God. In order to do that, He's got to cleanse out the self-will and pride. Not sure how that might affect you, but think about it. Think about how many decisions we make because it's what we want. How our actions are influenced by our own desires, by our own appetites. What does God really want? I think what He wants to do is go in and say, He wants somebody to say, here I am, come on in, cut it away, do what you got to do. I think that's what God wants. Well, God bless you. I hope it's a blessing to you. I hope it's a help to you. We love you. Man, oh man, I wish this would get over sooner rather than later. I sure want to see you. Love to give some of my folks a big hug and tell them how much we love them. And, I want you to believe, just please believe that you are loved.